You like that? You like that? I got 3 fantasy football sleepers I like for 2023. Let's go. You are just in time. Hit that intro. All right, so I'm going to give you guys 3 sleepers that I like in fantasy football for 2023. Let's take a look at it. So for first, let's start with Kenneth Walker. In 11 games last year as a full-time starter, he averaged 18 attempts, 82 yards per game, and he had 9 touchdowns in those 11 games. Rashad Penny's gone. They did draft Carbonot, so I do think he's going to eat into that workload just a little bit, but they trust Kenneth Walker as a full-time back, which is why they let Rashad Penny go. You had Travis Homer and Tony Jones also, who's no longer with the team. You're talking about 110 free opportunities. That's targets and that's rushing attempts on top of the 260 plus that he had from last year. Now, I'm not saying he's going to have that full 370 opportunities, but I do think 275 to 300 opportunities is in the realm of possibilities for Kenneth Walker, which is why I think he's a full-time sleeper. Now, when I say sleeper, let's keep in mind, he has the upside to finish top 5 at the position. He's being drafted right inside the top 10 running backs. I think he's at running back 9 as of right now. But you got the same core returning. You got Geno Smith. You got Tyler Lockett. You got DK Metcalf. You got playmakers in all areas of the field. So I do think that Kenneth Walker in a full season, because keep in mind, he only played 11 games as a starter, but he didn't play all 17 games. He was hurt for a couple of games. I do think in a full season, he has top 5 upside. And that's why I think Kenneth Walker is my number 1 sleeper for fantasy football 2023. Let's look at number 2. At the wide receiver position, stay with me now. I'm going to go with Wandale Robinson from the New York Giants. Now, let me tell you why. He was drafted to be a big part of the offense. In the 5 games that he played, now let's take that with a grain of salt, right? Out of the 17 games, he played 5 games. A lot of injury, but let's just take it for what it is, right? In those 5 games, he averaged 6 targets a game. 15% of the snaps in game 1, that one don't count. So let's call it 5 games. He played 6 games, but really, 5 games. He averaged 6 targets in those 5 games. When he's on the field, they're looking to get the ball to Wandale. There's not a lot of playmakers in that offense. They don't want the ball in Daniel Jones' hands. They want to get the ball to Saquon, Wandale Robinson. They want to get it in and out. Put the ball in your playmakers' hands and let them do what they do. Daniel Jones had 15 touchdowns last year in a peak pinnacle year. I don't think that's going to continue to grow even. I think he might get 20 to 25 this year. But once again, as a sleeper pick, keep in mind, sleeper, he is borderline undrafted. As a sleeper pick, the Giants' pass offense last year, 27th in pass yards, 25th in pass attempts. They was top 5 in rushing last year by those statistics. So I do think that had a lot to do with the playmakers. Isaiah Hodgins and Richie James was his leading receivers. Let's get Wandale Robinson healthy. Let's see what he can do with the ball. He's my number 2 sleeper for fantasy football 2023. Number 3, I'm going to go with the tight end position. I'm going to give you one of each. I'm going to give you a running back, a receiver. Now let's go with the tight end position. Let's look at Gerald Everett. It's almost a guarantee that Keenan Allen and Mike Williams is going to miss time. Last year, Keenan Allen played, I believe, 10 games, and Mike Williams played, I believe, 13. But every year, they're going to miss games, which, once again, adds value to guys like Austin Eckler, Gerald Everett. When those guys miss, they're going to, have to get the ball to somebody. Why not Gerald Everett? Kellen Moore is also coming into the offense as the offensive coordinator. Now, let's keep in mind, Kellen Moore is the same guy who helped Dalton Schultz and Blake Jarwin in Dallas become relevant. Not only fantasy relevant, but relevant for their team. Imagine what he can do with Gerald Everett. Gerald Everett right now is being drafted as a tight end 21. I want you to name 21 tight ends that you'd rather have than Gerald Everett. I'll wait. Exactly. Thanks for tuning in. Comment below on your 3 sleepers for fantasy football 2023.